Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's Tuesday, July 9th, our first show in a bunch of days. I guess not quite 2 weeks, but we last did a show on Thursday over a week ago. So anyway, good to be back. We got some fun stuff in the news today. No giant article, so it'll be kind of a mishmash of headlines, plus a little bit of an update of what's going on with our personal fitness lives and vacation lives. Doug, did you do any 4th of July festivities?
None. Did nothing.
Nothing.
No. I had a great 4th of July. We stayed here. We did the whole. I would say we did a full 4th of July, which included a 5K run, a 5K race, a parade, a cookout, swimming in the creek, and fireworks. It was a full day for me.
Very good. Very nice. Did you get your hands on the Oscar Mayer?
Oh my God, Matt, this has been, I've been wanting to talk to you about this all week.
Okay, great.
Because I have looked high and low. I have tried ordering from multiple places online. I have gone to multiple stores. I cannot find either of the Oscar Mayer or the new Impossible hot dogs. And I don't know. I had to give up. I reached out to people in Discord. The Plant-Based Morning Show Discord, and some people found them, but nowhere near me. So I don't know. Out of luck. How about you?
People did find them. That's good. I mean, I was beginning to wonder if it was just sort of a scam thing that just goes in the media but doesn't actually happen, or they immediately pull it because they realize it's not working. We've seen stuff not too different from that before, like with Taco Bell's nacho cheese fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't seen it anywhere. I did go to a couple different grocery stores at the beach just because, not looking for it, but just happened to go to different stores. And I did look whenever I was there and couldn't find anything. I also didn't find the Beyond, their version 4 sausages, the ones that have the avocado oil, because I was going to make a pasta dish with that. But I decided, and this revealed some stuff, I guess, about my shopping habits, that I just changed the meal because I couldn't get the new Beyond. I didn't want to get that old stuff full of coconut oil and saturated fat. Yeah, so I went and got something different. Even though I had found that back home already, so it just must not be in all stores. But anyway, yeah, that's too bad about the Impossible. It would have been nice to get that out to everybody to try for 4th of July.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would have been the time to get out. I mean, there are a few times that I'm buying plant-based vegan hot dogs. I mean, I guess maybe a couple times this summer, but like that is the time to buy hot dogs. Yeah. In fact, I kept a tracker of how many hamburgers and hot dogs I ate over the course of the week because we went to multiple cookouts. And what's your guess?
A whole week?
Since the last show. So starting last weekend and then running through. Yeah.
That's 2 weekends in there. I'm guessing you had almost none during the week except for on 4th of July. Well, I bet you had about 8 plant-based meat, hot dogs or burgers.
I had 6 burgers and 6 dogs.
I should have known from the show notes. That's what that meant. I should have known.
Oh yeah, the 6. Yeah.
Wow.
6 burgers and 6 dogs. That was
that's
it was a good one, but I will say, let's see, what was it? Maybe like last weekend. So like Sunday night or something like that, after we had the 4th of July and then a couple more cookouts. Sunday night, Katie and I were eating like a big salad with a whole bunch of beans and a piece of toast or something. And we look up at each other and like so happy to be eating whole foods and greens and not all this heavy baked beans and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely does feel good to eat normally again. And the plant, I had a fair share of those plant-based meats. I got a couple of different things because we were away, so it was like, especially for Holden, he's just kind of picky. It's just easy to buy a lot of plant-based meats and have them around because he will always eat those things. Mm-hmm. So I had plenty of like vegan deli sandwiches. We got hot dogs. I think they were called Stadium Dogs from Field Roast. Okay, it's a new Field, because Field Roast has hot dogs. I think they call them Frankfurters, maybe, and they're expensive. I usually don't get them. These are Stadium Dogs. They came in a pack of 5. I don't really know what's different about them. Honestly, I didn't like them that much. I don't know what it was. They just kind of a slimy flavor and texture compared to normal Field Roast stuff. So I had those, and then I had a couple. I think it was tofurkey sausages, pretty standard thing. No burgers, none of like the good ones. No Beyond or Impossible meats. But I did see a VFC, who we've talked about a few times. I thought they were only a European or UK brand. Maybe we've probably covered something about them coming here. But I found that in the freezer at a grocery store, and I got that. It was like chicken tenders with cornflake breading on them. Not branded cornflakes, but just cornflake breading. I had that. It was okay. It really wasn't. It wasn't anything special, but it was all right.
You know what I had that we've made fun of a bunch?
What
is the you know how Beyond has like 5 versions of their burgers? It's basically the same thing.
Right. Yep.
There's the Beyond Griller or Cookout Classic, which is in fact a little bit like beefier, like thicker, and I don't know. It was a slightly different patty than the normal one. And
isn't that what the normal Beyond
grilled up really nice?
Isn't the normal Beyond Burger for like a cookout? Like, what else is the normal use of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea. But the Cookout Classic, I don't know. It's like maybe even a little bit firmer. I don't know how that would be possible, but
yeah. Was it the new formulation, the avocado? Because Britters is saying she had the new one too, so they must be making the distribution rounds.
Yeah, I think it was I'm not sure. I think it was the new one.
So maybe it wasn't the Cookout Classic, but the new formulation that you noticed that was.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. It probably would have been my first new formulation. So,
right. Well, Britta says she had it. Didn't taste any different than the last batch. That wasn't quite my review, or someone else who was here. We thought they tasted. They do taste to me different. They taste more like a little bit more like a traditional, plant-based burger than quite so meaty and greasy, which is sort of a welcome change to me. I'm almost indifferent. I don't really care that much. Anyway, I must say I'm getting sick of the plant-based meats. I'm continue to be sick of them. I just want to eat less and less of them. And that has to do with this other thing that I have kind of started, which is the 75 hard
challenge. Let's hear it. Okay.
I'm saying kind of because I really am hesitant to commit to it still. For a couple of reasons. I have stuff going, like next week I'm in Orlando for 7 days. And that means 2 days driving for whatever it is, 7-8 hours. Like, I'm not going to keep that up during that.
I'm exactly the time you're supposed to be keeping it up, man. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah, I know, right? And that's the thing that I'm not interested in, like a big hard like alpha raw dog airplane flight challenge. I don't need like that. I'm not doing the David Goggins go as hard as I can to prove how hard I am. It's just I like this. I like the idea of doing these good habits for a lot of days. So I think what I'm going to do, and this is what I arrived at, was I said I'm just going to start doing these days, like complete days of this 75 hard challenge. And I'm going to make a note of each time I do a day. And when I don't do it, that's okay. It's not going to be the end of my challenge. I'm just going to, pick up the notes, make a note the next time I do one. And when I get to 75, I'll be happy.
Could you do like 75 and 90 or something? Like would a little bit more structure be beneficial or no?
I didn't think about that exactly, but I did see the problem of like be pretty easy to get into a rut and then just kind of not do it and take a month off and then come back, and that would be defeating the purpose. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I'm not interested in like the structure. I don't care about doing the challenge and like being able to say I did it. Mm-hmm. I just like the idea of having these good habits for a while. So anyway, I started yesterday with just doing all of them. The only one I forgot was the progress picture. You're supposed to take a progress picture.
Oh, man. And day one is the first time you gotta do that.
And then I looked at it and I realized I think people do that because maybe this whole thing is like a fitness challenge or like a lose weight. Because I see on Reddit there's a bunch of like people's like start.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's like a body transformation, get healthy type thing.
Somehow I guess for me, my introduction to the thing was a no drinking challenge. The person I know who's doing it, that was the main thing she was talking about. So I thought it was like sort of a like, just health, like, mental well-being also. Like I didn't think of it as like a body transformation challenge. And so I think that's why I completely forgot about the picture. I'm not going to do the picture part. I don't care about that. I just want to, I like the healthy habits. But anyway, all I did for the workouts was walk. I said, it's fine. If I just want to walk, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. I already, after walking twice, 3 times now, because I did 2 yesterday and 1 today for 45 minutes each, I can tell that I'm not going to want to walk twice. 45 minutes. Yeah. It's not hard. It was easy. Like,
right.
You set aside, as long as you can set aside the time, And that's the only challenge of the discipline, is to do that. But it's not like it's hard to walk for that long. And fortunately, maybe some people would be, but fortunately for me, it's not that hard to walk for that long. So I can imagine, pretty soon starting to say, well, I'm going to do a workout, a lifting thing during one of these things instead of the other. But I'll still probably try to walk each day. But then I wonder, I haven't read the book or anything. I just saw this Reddit post. I don't know, I guess it's a 45-minute weight training workout even if you're only going for 1 minute out of every 5 because you're resting in between. Like, it just doesn't seem like a 45-minute workout, but I guess it is.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I don't know. If I were you, I would add, if I was going to do it, I appreciate the not wanting to actually do 75 days hard. And, like you, I could care less if you say you did it or not.
Right.
But for me, I know that I would need a little bit more structure than just, I'm just going to do some days that are like this. Because there's no way I would last more than a week. Or then I'd start being like, well, I'm just going to do one of the workouts and yada, yada. So, if I had a little bit of structure and said, 75 and 90 or 75 and, I don't know, 85 or whatever, I think that would be even 75 and 100, then you're taking every third day off. Right.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I can see how that would work. It also, for me, gets into then you have permission to take every third day off, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. I kind of figured that if I just do this, it might start to compile, and I get to the point where or accumulate, and I start to have a streak, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to put the effort forth during my golf trip to do this stuff, but maybe not. And I can't imagine by Thursday when I leave for Orlando, the momentum will be there to want to try to get 2 workouts in on the day when I'm driving 8 hours. But I don't know. And that's actually not the idea of I guess I know myself well enough that just kind of starting like that, I think is a good thing, because I think it makes things happen. And I realized that with the drinking part of this, which for me is the primary part, that would be the hardest thing to do, is not have alcohol for 75 days. And actually that's a nice thing about the being able to still make an exception during the golf trip or whatever. Yeah. I realized that this yesterday felt very, very easy to not have a drink at the end of the day. And I realized it was because I'd already been working on this thing all day long. I'd already done 2 workouts or 2 walks, and eaten the diet, which the diet I chose. By the way, I put a link to the rules because certainly people listening here don't know the rules, and I'll cover them again real quickly in a minute. But I just said the diet I'm gonna do is just plant-based diet. I'm just gonna make sure I absolutely eat a salad every day. That's gonna be the one thing I do in addition, because I don't do that.
The only thing you're doing differently is adding a salad, ensuring that you're getting a salad.
Yes, and I kind of hope to not eat the plant-based meats, or not just stay away from processed food as much as possible. But I don't have any strict rules around that. But anyway, my point is, you've done all the stuff. You've done the reading of 10 pages. You get to the end of the day, the temptation to have a drink then is much less. It's not well, I'm just going to, I just kind of really want a glass of wine now because I've been working on this thing all day that I did. And then that means those walks would have been wasted in that sense.
Right.
So I kind of like that. I don't know. I felt like it was very easy, and I can imagine. I don't know. Any other time I've tried to take a break from alcohol, it's always been in isolation. But if it's part of a bigger health program, it actually might be a lot easier.
Did you drink much over the 4th?
Yeah, decent amount, because I'd go to the beach and have 2 or 3 drinks there, and we'd have a happy hour thing on the beach, and then it would turn into nighttime. So I definitely had some nights where I had plenty of wine, almost always wine, a little bit of beer, not much. I did try those Surfside. You know what that is?
No.
That was the popular drink at the beach, it seemed, from a lot of different people. It's they're teas, or you can do you can get a lemonade one, but they're teas with vodka in them. So there's black tea, vodka. You can get peach flavor, whatever. I think they're kind of the non-carbonated version of these seltzers that people, the hard seltzers. But I drank 3 of them one day at 5 p.m. at this thing I was at. It was actually a crab feast that people were having, and I was, of course, not having crabs, but I was there. And I drank 3 of these teas, and I was all excited, and I just forgot that there's caffeine in tea as I was doing it. So that night, I was just wide awake in bed for a long time.
That leads to more drinking, and keep the party going.
Yeah. They were kind of good, but they have artificial sweetener, and I don't like that either. So anyway, wasn't anything that I'm going to keep doing, but it was not bad.
I hardly drank at all over the last week, and not intentionally. It was just so hot. And we were at these outdoor cookouts, I'd have a beer or something, but I couldn't get myself to I mean, I wasn't actively trying to drink a lot more than that, but it just didn't seem all that appealing because I was so hot. But I did. We went to one cookout, and this was maybe the fifth, and after the fourth, and I was just totally drained from being out in the sun all day on the fourth. And so I was like, what would be really refreshing is one of those seltzers. I never really drink them, and I've never
like a
had
high noon kind of thing.
Well, high noon is like they use real liquor. White Claw is what I got because
Okay.
Which is a popular one, but it's like a malt beverage, I think, malt liquor maybe. It literally on the label it just says alcohol, water, alcohol. So I don't actually know what it is, but it was not good. That was my first time having a White Claw, and it was not good. I had one, and I bought a 12-pack, so I have 11 more in the fridge.
I'm surprised it wasn't good. I thought people love those things. I've never tried one either.
I know people do love them. Yeah, I don't know. I was not a fan. Not for me.
Well, I will say the reason I was excited to try the Surfside things is because I've been feeling not that good when I drink beer recently. Wine is fine, and that's what I mostly drink. But like when I have a beer, I just feel weird for like the next 2 hours. So I definitely felt way much. It just seemed like a lighter drink. I understand why people do it. I get it. But too bad those things are not good. All right. Like I said, the rules of the 75 hard thing. If you're curious, I just go on Reddit. 75 hard. That's what I looked up, and someone has summarized the rules very quickly. Drink a gallon of water. This is each day. Drink a gallon of water. Flavorings and things in the water makes it not count, so you have to drink an actual gallon of water. Perform 2 workouts, 45 minutes long each. One must be outside, exposed to the elements, and you got to separate the workouts by 3 hours, so you can't do one long run and knock them out. Read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. You're not allowed to quit the book. Can't be an audio book. You have to finish any book you start. Do a diet. You get to choose. Can be as simple as no food after 9 p.m., but pick a diet you're going to follow. No alcohol. O'Doul's and non-alcoholic drinks are okay, which is weird to me because there's so much sugar in a lot of those. And take a progress picture. So I didn't do the progress picture, did everything else. And I'll probably do it all again today, and we'll see where it gets.
Have you gotten your first workout in or no?
What'd you say?
Have you gotten your first workout in?
Yeah, I did a walk this morning.
Okay.
And it was hot. I didn't start early enough.
Well, just a quick fitness update for me. I'm at that like high point where I feel like I'm getting fitter. Does that make sense? You've I've been on maintenance mode for a long time. Started doing the gym a little bit, a couple months ago, and really was enjoying that. But now I feel like it's all kind of coming together. I've been upping my mileage a little bit, being consistent with the gym 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's actually starting to pay off. And I don't know, it just feels really good. Like that's motivating to me. And that what I like about this feeling right now is because I don't have any sort of structure or plan, like any hard set structure. I'm just kind of going with the flow, doing something every day or trying to, and it feels really good.
So you don't need a structure. There you go.
I know. I guess right. Maybe I don't.
That's good. That's really good. It's a great feeling to get to. Much better than the feeling of just starting and feeling like you're not getting anywhere or being plateaued. So that's good. You think does that have to do with the gym and the addition of that new thing, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Because there's days when I don't really want to go for a run again. And I've been trying to go to the gym, and I really I have fun with it, and I'm getting stronger, which is nice. You know what? My wrists have been bothering me, and I think it's because of like bench press. Have you ever had that?
It sounds very familiar. I don't know if I've had actual pain from that. You don't do front squats, do you, with your wrists like this?
No.
Way back?
No.
Yeah, I can see the bench press doing it. I mean, I think you want to keep your wrist in line with your hand, so you don't want it to be bent way back like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can,
or maybe it could be dips. Maybe I don't know, but they've been bothering me last week, and it occurred to me yesterday that it's probably from weightlifting.
Well, keep it all in line as if you were punching a bag, right? You want everything to be nice and straight. But then then the risk is the bar slipping out of your fingers and falling onto your chest. You don't want that to happen. That's a real risk. All right, good. Well, let's get to our weather report. Like I said, we do have some stuff to cover, but shockingly, after a week off, surprisingly little of substance as far as like big plant-based events. Maybe everyone's taking a break for 4th of July from all the controversy.
I've got one more thing, Matt, that
Yeah,
that you left off the weather report, or maybe you didn't see,
Okay.
and related to the plant-based meats is Beyond not Beyond Chicken. Beyond Chicken at Panda Express. Panda Express is bringing it back.
Oh, I didn't see that at all. No, that's good news. The orange
Trial take
one.
2, apparently limited time again. It's still Beyond, but it's a slightly different chicken. Like it tastes a little different and different coating. But yeah, it's back. It's in stores. I missed it the first time, so I'm definitely heading there soon.
It's the same exact, or the same meal. What was it? Beyond Chicken, orange something?
Orange chicken, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same sauce.
Okay. That's good news. I love that meal. That was really good. And the nice thing about that is you get to go get a bunch of vegetables. You can get brown rice. And then, yes, you have your vegan meat, but you get some healthy stuff with it, which is way different than getting an Impossible Whopper at Burger King and having fries and Coke. It's like actual healthy food. So I don't know how healthy that orange chicken itself is, but I consider that a good news.
Have we said hi to people before we kick this off?
No, I don't think we did say hi to people. Let's do that real quick. All right. Good morning to those who have checked in, which is actually not that many today. People, I guess, are taking their time to get back in the swing of things here. You know what it is? Well, looks like our Twitter's not hooked up, from what I can tell, which is not that big a deal. But anyway, good morning to Brandon Turner, Britters, Phyllis Hauser, Leslie Knight, Kate, a.k.a. Rivercat, Dale Stevens. Did I say Brandon Turner? Yeah.
Yep.
Matt O'Connor.
Matt O'Connor.
Vicky Craven, my mom, who I just saw for a long time at the whole beach trip. She was there, so that was good. Carmen, she's doing her own 75-day thing, self-styled though. She's making up her own rules.
Ooh, I want to hear about this.
Might even change the 75 to a 30. So it's a significant departure from the original. Karuta Legends, and that's it. That's all the new people the people who have checked in. All right, good. Let's get to the weather report today. Here we go. Sports are happening, Doug. Plant-based sports. Paris Olympic and Paralympic Games. I think that starts end of this month, July 20 something. But as we kind of talked about before, I don't think we had these specific stats. 60% of all food and beverages across all sites for the Olympics for the public will be plant-based, including one fully vegetarian restaurant, La Concorde, and 30% of the items at the Athletes Village will be vegan. That's interesting to me, just because you assume that most of those athletes have their own specific diets and that most of them aren't vegan, as good as a athletic or a plant-based diet can be for athletes. It just seems like, a lot of choices. But I guess even the non-plant-based athletes would want to add some vegetables into their diet. So not that shocking. They're going to be serving 13 million meals during these games.
Wow.
And so that means, if the stats line up, then something like 7 or 8 million of those will be plant-based. And then related, Wimbledon has been happening. Is it over yet? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't been following it. Don't know how the Joker's doing, our vegan guy. But they also have had, for the first time ever, a plant-based Victoria cake. You ever heard of Victoria sponge cake, Doug? It's a Wimbledon tradition.
I have not.
Well, it's brimming with strawberry jam and cream. Been a beloved staple. And they're making a version with flora spread and coconut cream. And I guess it's to be more, to boost the tournament's environmental sustainability.
I like sponge cake.
I haven't had sponge cake in forever, but yeah, I always thought it was pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Is that really going to boost the tournament's sustainability, serving vegan sponge cake?
No, I bet. If this is something that is like, well known at Wimbledon, similar to the pimento cheese at the Masters.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, really? No. It's like a big thing. They have like $5 pimento cheese sandwiches that are supposed to be.
Really? It's a sandwich with just cheese? That's the
pimento cheese? Yeah. You never had a pimento cheese sandwich?
No, never even heard of such a thing.
What? And you live in South Carolina?
I'd like to know if anyone else here has heard of a pimento cheese sandwich.
Oh my gosh, Matt! I'm really dumbfounded by this.
Well, when was the last time you had one? A year? I mean, it must have been
Well, I mean, I'm vegan, so I haven't had one in.
So even before 10 years, you were hearing about pimento cheese sandwiches.
I grew up eating pimento cheese sandwiches.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a dip. It looks like a cheese dip.
It's kind of like a dip, but yeah, they just make it's real common for like, I don't know, little parties or something where you have hors d'oeuvres and you have white bread with no crust and a little tiny little square
I've
triangle.
seen that. I mean, I've seen the thing that looks like that.
But you can also do like what's essentially a grilled cheese, like a toasted cheese sandwich, or grilled maybe, with a whole bunch of pimento cheese in there. I cannot believe you've never had a pimento cheese sandwich. That's blowing my mind.
It's possible I had it and just didn't know that that's what I was eating. I don't know. Anyway, I don't see anybody here rushing to your.
No, I guess not.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So you were saying about unless it's something that is that associated with the event, doesn't matter.
Right. But even if it is, unless they changed all of them, like chances are it's 10% that were sold. Like there's just no way it's happening.
Yeah, right. Unless they change all of them, and I actually didn't get that from the article, the bit that I pulled. Djokovic is still in the event. I haven't heard anything about him not being vegan anymore, so I assume he still is. Although I think he likes to not be called a vegan. He's a number 2 seed. He's in the quarterfinals. Plays tomorrow. Quarterfinals means eight people are left. So there you go. There's your Djokovic thing. Remember we were all into Serena Williams at one time?
I do, yeah.
I think it was at the U.S. Open, I think, her final tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't even vegan, was she?
She's vegan.
She is?
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe, yeah. I knew she had been. I just didn't know if she was at the time. But anyway, all right. Enough of that story. On to the next. Speaking of cheesy spreads, Doug, this is not quite pimento cheese. You can probably make it from it. U.S. plant-based food company Credo Foods, Credo, has launched what they claim is the world's first oat milk-based vegan spray cheese. CHEEZE. That's what's this? What Cheese Whiz? Is that what it was? The stuff that comes out of the jar. This looks exactly like that kind of can with the plastic thing that would dispense it. They have 2 flavors, cheddar and smoky. Took them over 3 years to make this thing, to develop this thing. And it's going to be available at the company's website and soon at HEB, which I don't know what that is, and Wegmans. I do know what Wegmans is. So there you go. I was going to ask you, I thought you'd probably be into this sort of invention. Now I know all you got to do is mix some hot peppers in there, and then you're going to be very into this invention.
I'm kind of surprised that Cheese Whiz isn't like, accidentally vegan or something.
You're right.
I don't know. I'm surprised that it's taken 3 years of R&D to create one of these. But funny enough, I was thinking about Cheese Whiz yesterday because I was running in the morning, or down the street, like down, on a sidewalk, and kicked a can of Cheese Whiz, and I thought, I haven't seen Cheese Whiz in a really long time.
Yeah, you don't really hear about it very much. I haven't heard. I feel like when I was a kid, I heard about it all the time.
Yeah.
Were you one of the kids who sprayed it directly in your mouth?
Oh, of course. How else do you eat it? You eat a cracker, and then you spray it and right away. Jessica Goodenough says, "How does one use cheese spray?" I think it's how does one spray cheese? Very much an American thing. Yeah, I mean, it's like whipped cream, but in cheese form.
Spray is the wrong word for it. It is called spray cheese. It doesn't spray. It like dispenses.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a toothpaste tube, basically, but it's a metal can.
Toothpaste.
But it comes out like toothpaste, kind
of. Okay, I guess the consistency, is that what you mean?
I mean, like the way, like if you were squeezing a toothpaste tube, the way it exits the tube is a little bit like it would exit a.
No, but it's more like toothpaste. What are you talking about? it's like.
I feel like whipped cream gets infused with a lot of air. Spray cheese.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right.
It's going to get pushed out. Anyway, moving on. All right. New studies out says that eating ultra-processed food is linked to an increased risk of mortality in older people, specifically 10%. People who in this study who consume significant amounts of UPF were 10% more likely to die during the study's long follow-up period than those who did not. They had a ton of people, 318,000 men, 220,000 women. The controversy is that it was a 22.9 year follow-up period. So they surveyed people, asked them what they ate then, and then came back and followed up all this time without knowing what they did in the middle. So the people who ate lots of UPF died, at a 10% higher rate due to heart disease and diabetes, but not due to cancer. So interestingly, the UPF did not seem to increase cancer risk. But like I said, it's hard. People aren't seeming to put too much stock in this because of this weird issue with how long the follow-up was and the unknown in the middle. All right, Doug, this is your wheelhouse here. Lewis Hamilton, Formula One driver. He's been vegan. We've known that forever. He's announced that his dog, Roscoe, his beloved dog, Roscoe, has fully transitioned to a vegan diet. And then he said, very scientific here, Hamilton reports his coat is much softer, his swollen paws have healed up, and he's no longer limping with pain of arthritis, and his breathing has improved. So all kinds of good things that would have happened there to Roscoe. Do you believe those things?
Good for Lewis.
Do you believe those things, or is that just vegan propaganda?
Oh, I think it's
confirmation bias. Just looking for the good stuff.
I mean, it's his beloved dog. He probably knows everything about that dog.
Would he have reported if the coat was more coarse and the paws were more swollen, or would it have just been?
Probably not.
Wouldn't have heard about it then.
Yeah,
so not really scientific, but you do hear this all the time. I experienced a bunch of this too when I went vegan over time. Just these random things that seem to get better, but you don't see a lot of science saying that happens. So it's hard to believe it.
Lewis had a big week.
No, I didn't.
Won his first Grand Prix since in like 900 days in several years.
Oh, okay. So Grand Prix, was that one race a year? Or is that like a Grand Slam event?
No, one race.
Okay. How many Grand Prix are there in a year? Grand Prixes.
Good question. Like 20 something maybe.
Okay. So it's like a PGA Tour event kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. He won. Good for him.
Yeah.
Maybe the Roscoe's diet had to do with it. Maybe he was like mentally wasn't worried about swollen paws and stuff.
That's right. Could be.
All right. Moving along. Heather Mills, Paul McCartney's ex-wife, I don't know. Her company, V-Bites, was saved from administration a few months ago. Now, though, she's making moves, and she's acquired alternative stores, an award-winning online plant-based store called Alternative Stores. It's not just online, because I saw a picture of the actual storefront. It looked like a cool store. But anyway, she's acquired that and wants to create basically the world's largest online vegan store with this acquisition, I guess. And that, of course, include her pioneering brand, V-Bites Foods, which I hear surprisingly little about for how big a deal it seems to be in the news when it fails or is near failure. I don't even know what they make. It says they've been making innovative vegan products online for decades. So I guess this is like now the outlet to sell the brand V-Bites. And of course, they sell a bunch of other stuff too. So I don't know. Might be cool to have a good online vegan store. I kind of thought that was already done, but
no, I feel like an alternative brand that's selling from an alternative store, a lot of alternative. I don't know. Well, just worry about that a little bit, but good for her.
That's what you love, though. That's your thing, right?
Yeah.
Buy from the mom and pop.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good business decision though.
Yeah. Right. Who knows? All right. Up next, Upside Foods. This is your title, your headline bit of news, which made the title of the show. Upside Foods has initiated a fresh round of layoffs. They are letting go of 26 employees. Upside Food, of course, is the cultivated meat company, one of the two that has gained the U.S. approval, or at least has successfully served it in the U.S. now. Letting go of 26. They say they're reducing top-heavy structures. This sounds like normal business stuff to me. I wouldn't call this the end of cultivated meat, even though our title hinted that it might be. If you watch the debate, Doug, you probably heard Trump say that if you're not firing someone, you're not doing a good job. And so I think this is a business just, that you gotta keep shuffling things up. You gotta adjust now and then. I don't think this is the end of cultivated meat.
I texted you yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. You didn't respond. But that's
I just did. Yes. Sorry.
The CEO and founder of Upside Foods was on Rich Roll this week.
Oh, I didn't realize that was him. I thought it was just some random doctor or something.
No. It's he is a former heart surgeon, I think.
Okay. Wow.
And had this idea and decided to give up his career, leading some sort of cardiology department for this. And and I, after listening to, I've made it through about an hour and a half of the 2-hour episode so far. After listening to an hour and a half, I am fully on board with cultivated meat. I think it is the best thing that has happened to the food industry in our generation, in the last 150 years. So
just from listening to the CEO
yeah, I mean, I know he's trying to sell me on it,
what
but
if you listen to the counter? What if you listen to the opposite side? Would you then take, I mean, that's what I would do. I listen to something and I believe it, and then I listen to something else and I believe that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm convinced. I think it's gonna be really good. It and he admits that they've got a long battle ahead of them,
right?
A lot of struggles. So this is chapter 1. As he put it, chapter 1 was proving that you could do it, that you could make chicken breast from cells. Chapter 2 is going to be upping production, producing 100 instead of 1 pound of chicken meat, producing 100,000 pounds chicken meat.
Right.
And then chapter 3 is going to be getting cost down. And then he had a bunch of chapters that he was going to be steps. So I mean, we're looking like 20 years out before it's adopted by everyone, or not everyone, but in the way that I would like for it to be. But I mean, it just made it feel very real. I mean, Rich ate some, which I thought was cool, and I don't know, just made it seem like it's not that far off, that we might be spending a lot of money on it. It might be more expensive, but it's not that far off that we're going to be able to try it if we want to. And I don't know, I'm just fully convinced that it's going to be a really good thing for the environment and for the animals. And as he says, right now they're just trying to do it exactly the same, try to create an exact replica, but there is a lot of room to be able to make it healthier, to begin to tweak it a little bit, replace some of the fat with omega-3s, or kind of do some things that would actually end up being healthier for people. And that's further down the road, but I don't know. I just think a lot of potential.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I think it's definitely easy to be short-sighted. And we see the media stuff. We see that the bars or whatever restaurant was serving it removed it, and we don't even know the reason. And the Florida law and bans and all that stuff. It's easy, I think, to just say, well, it's dead. It's too hard. But it's probably not even a blip on their radar when stuff like that happens. It's just all expected to happen, and this is a long thing. So yeah, very interesting. I mean, it's what a huge shift that will be in the food system if it works out. But man, what a hot button issue right now, though.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. I was a little bit jealous, though. I think we need to somehow get that guy on our podcast so that we can try it.
Seems easy enough. How many people can want that guy on?
That's true. How many people are really reaching out to CEO website?
Yeah, we probably could. All right, good. Well, good. So anyway, that's on Rich Roll podcast. You can go listen to that. If you like, you can listen to my episode, my 2 episodes there, if you like, while you're there. Did I ever mention to you there that I was on there?
Oh yeah. I think I remember something about that. In fact, what I remember the first time you were on there is you leaving me at the table so that you could at a Veg Fest.
That's right.
Leaving me to man the table so you could go record the episode, and I didn't get to hang out with Rich. Where was I? Could have got invited on that podcast. Well, where was I? No, I had to go on the table.
Yeah, you're right. You were not. I'm included. But I think we got a picture together. I mean, you, Rich.
We did get a picture, and you did give me a shirt, or Rich gave you a shirt to give to me. I guess.
Okay, good. Anyway, go listen to that one on Rich's podcast. What's the name of what's the guy's name? Dr. Uma something. Pulling up in my text here. Dr. Uma Valetti's Moonshot to Engineer the Future of Food and End Factory Farming. So that was from July 8th. So probably there now if you go to iTunes or wherever. All right, and last up, kind of interesting. The FDA has banned the use of brominated vegetable oil in foods and beverages last week after determining the ingredient is unsafe. This sounds like a big deal. You read this, you think vegetable oil. How many foods that I'm eating have brominated vegetable oil in them? Turns out not many. It's used mainly to keep the citrus part of citrus sodas from not rising to the surface. So it's in Sundrop if you drink that.
Okay.
It's in Orangeette, which can only be found in Walmart stores. 2 soda brands from giant stores have it. Anyway, it's been found to cause hyperthyroidism, and it's made by adding bromine. I don't know how you say that, to vegetable oil. So I don't know if this matters. I don't know if this affects anybody, but I guess
you don't drink a lot of Sundrop?
No. Is that a Mountain Dew type product?
No, it's like an orange soda, I think.
Really? I thought it was yellow.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It is a Mountain Dew product. What am I thinking of? Orange? I don't know. Fanta? Maybe. Yeah, you're right. Sundrop is, or maybe like a Sprite or something.
Yeah, it's a yellowish green, so that sounds like Mountain Dew. It's from Keurig Dr. Pepper, which is always a weird name to know that either of those two companies' names is the name of a large food company. Yeah. I thought Dr. Pepper was like a Coke product or something.
Yeah.
But no, they're their own thing. So anyway, this is probably their Mountain Dew. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. So watch out for that BVO.
We have a rental on our property. We rent out like a little studio apartment on behind our house.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. And detached garage that we rent out on Airbnb. Okay. And
to Katie's mom or something. Who do you rent it out to?
What?
Who do you rent it out to? Like Katie's mom or like actual renters?
No, like Airbnb. We Airbnb it.
I never hear you telling horror stories of the guests.
Usually they're wonderful. We only have a couple of horror stories. Which I should start maybe introducing some of those horror stories. But we had this lovely couple here over the 4th of July that were great, but they I found myself judging them very, very hard on the first morning. They got in late one night, and the next morning they were sitting out on like a little outside table and chairs, and it was like 8:30. He was drinking a Mountain Dew. I just like. I couldn't help but really judge the guy.
Yeah, Mountain Dew's no good. It'll shrink your testicles, right? Lower your sperm count. Remember all those rumors?
I don't remember that at all. No.
Oh, you don't? Oh, that was the thing when I was in like middle school. It was like, oh, you can't drink that.
Really? That's
funny. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Probably not at all. I always thought Mountain Dew was a delicious drink. I used to get it at Taco Bell back in the day. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. So that's, like I said, a bunch of mishmash of stories. Nothing too much today. But good to be back. Good to break the seal. Get ourselves going again. We'll be normal scheduled tomorrow. We might be early on Thursday. We'll have to talk about that. We'll announce that if so tomorrow. And then next week will be a little bit wonky, but we'll still try to get in 3 episodes like a normal week. Just might be at strange times.
Mm-hmm. Kate Rivercat says, I would only judge if it was Baja Breeze Mountain Dew. Man, that
is Baja Breeze.
It's like a red version of Mountain Dew.
Oh,
that would be fun.
I think it's Baja Blast. Yeah, it's Baja Blast.
Baja Blast.
Which is way different, way better.
What is the flavor? Oh no, it's not red. What is it?
Baja Flash is coconut soda. Man, what is going on?
There is a red version of Mountain Dew. There's a yellow one. Baja Fresh.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember there was red Mountain Dew or one of them was meant to go with the Doritos to put out the fire from the Doritos.
Oh man.
All right.
Amazing what people go with.
It is amazing what people will.
Code Red. Yeah, that's it.
Code Red. Yeah. All right. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear, Doug, that you judge people as well. It's not just me. Even Doug, mayor of Black Mountain, Doug judges people.
Not mayor.
You announced your candidacy for the next.
Well, that's just breaking news. I filed yesterday to run again, so I have not announced it anywhere yet. I'm announcing it here right now. That
this is the press conference.
This is the press conference. I am officially running again for town council in Black Mountain. Come out and vote November 8th.
We are this time. There's a lot more video out there now of you. than there was last
So
time
if
around.
someone has the time, they could go through these hours of footage and
Yeah, they could.
yeah.
Have
Different
you
world.
officially endorsed the candidate yet? Do you do that? Do you like make an official endorsement of
Do I
president?
make an endorsement of other candidates?
Like a presidential, like people come in and say, "I'm endorsing Trump," or "I'm endorsing
Oh no,
Biden." It's like a
I
big
need
deal.
people to endorse me. That's what I need.
All right. Well, I'll endorse you.
Yeah,
Does that help?
perfect, awesome.
All
New York
right.
Times bestselling author Matt
Look
Frazier,
at that. How many people like
two-time
that?
Rich Roll guest Matt
Yeah. Right.
Frazier endorses Doug Hay
There you go.
live on Plant Based Morning Show. Great, love it. Great.
All right. Good. Well, that's it. Everyone, enjoy your Tuesday. Good to be back, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
All right.